Hello everyone, I'm Lauren and welcome back to my channel. This is Lauren's Literary Library where we talk about all things books and my own writing journey, and today I've got a slightly weird video to go through. One, I've realised that I actually stole that sort of intro from someone else and I really want to change it because I don't know, I feel like I die a little bit inside every time I say it. But also, today I have got a partial day from work. I didn't have like a full day's annual leave left to take, but I needed to take it before the end of May, but other people are off, so today is the day that I'm taking it, and I'm going to do like a little bit of vlogging and taking you along for the ride. But I've not really done much so far. I'm going through and formatting a poetry book that I have volunteered my time for to get together. It's for a charity. It's a poetry book on leadership, all written by women about what leadership means to them. I have put a poem in there as well as formatting it. I will leave some information to the stuff that we're doing in the description below, so that if you want to, you can check it out. I will also probably be promoting it when it gets released, just because it's going towards a charity called Mums in Need, which is based in Sheffield. I can't remember fully, but it's something. Oh, do you know what? I did know what it was, but because I've not looked at it for so long, I can't remember. Anyway, I'm formatting that. The final file needs to be ready for the 20th of May. We're on the 15th of May. I'm going through some feedback on the formatting and getting the structure in the right place and sending that off. I'm actually really enjoying formatting, and part of me is really tempted to branch out and offer myself and services as a formatter for books. So if you see anything about that, yeah, just ignore it, because it's just something that has popped into my head. I do get this a lot, where I think of an idea of something that I really want to do and I never actually go through with it, but I am enjoying this, and it might help me to be able to afford to publish my books on a more frequent timescale, which would be nice. It can just like all be like one little self-contained pot of help. And I think because it's not too difficult, and this is a bit more complex because I'm having to move poems around, I could probably do this at a really reasonable rate, and I just want to figure out how to do like fancy chapter headers and little scene separators, and then I think I might be ready to go for it, to be honest. But sidetrack, yeah, so I've got a day to myself. I need to go to the library and drop 2 books off. I do need to pay a fine because I forgot that they didn't renew this week, they renewed last week and I couldn't renew them anymore. So I've got to go and pay a fine for that. But yeah, I'm excited to just like have a little bit of time to myself. I think I'm going to do this formatting, get some lunch, get ready and go, and I'm bringing you along with me, and you can have a browse in the library with me. I don't need any more books, I've still got 5 checked out, but that's a different issue. I've not really done much filming, so I thought I would go along and get that started, because otherwise I would never start today, and my idea to do a little follow me around day would just become non-existent because we've not actually followed me around anywhere. I'm going to charge this because it is slowly losing battery, and I'm going to try and see if I can get some other bits charged. But I'm excited to show you what my day off to myself looks like without a small toddler following me around. I might show some of the book, I might not, because I'm not really sure where that lies, obviously because it's not my book. So yeah, but I'm excited and I'm enjoying doing like all these little creative things. I think it's just like the break that my brain needs. So I might have lied earlier about not picking any more books up from the library, because I've got a mini haul to add into this, take you along with me for the day, and I think this is probably going to be my final instalment because I've not had as much time as I thought I would, because it took me around 2 hours to edit the poetry book. So I'm going to maybe just show a bit of me doing my editing for my vlog that should go up on Monday. I'm not sure what time because it depends on how much time I get to edit today and over the weekend. But let's go through my little haul. Okay, so the first 2 books that I've got from my brief encounter out into Chesterfield are books that I bought, and I know I don't need to buy any more books, but I couldn't resist. So the first one that I've got is A Forbidden Alchemy by Stacey McEwen. Apparently I've forgotten the way to speak today. This one looks quite interesting. It kind of has like It's got definitely got fantasy vibes. There's a revolution, maybe some slight dystopian. I am enjoying that sort of book. I love the idea of a fated pair. Like, I'm not sure what artisans are, but there's like artisans are part of the society, but they're chosen and you have to be trained up for it. So I'm curious to see what they are. I just really liked the vibe of it. I also really enjoyed the cover of this one. I think it's got very good sort of like dystopian, dark fantasy-esque vibes. I think it's adult, I'm not entirely sure. I will find out as I read through. But yeah, I just wanted to buy a new book. I shouldn't buy a new book because I've got too many new books, but I am hoping to get to this one soon. And the next book I bought is a completely opposite end of the spectrum, and that is The Between Worlds B&B by Amy May Baxter. And this looks like a proper little cozy fantasy. How many pages is this? 278. Wow. 278 pages. The author of The Baby Dragon Cafe said it's everything I want in a cozy fantasy. I didn't notice that before. But this looks like a kind of like whimsical, cozy vibe. I'm hoping it's quite a quick read because it's so short. I don't know how I'm going to feel about it. Have I read any cozy? I don't think I've actually read any cozy fantasy. I started reading Bewitched and I was a bit disappointed with that because I don't think it's what I was expecting it to be. I don't know, I've still not finished it. It's like in front of me, which is why it's the first thing I thought of. But I'm hoping that I like this one. I'm not entirely sure if it's one I'm going to enjoy, but I just wanted to take a chance on something a little bit different from what I'm used to and see if this matches the vibes of what I enjoy out of reading. Okay, so the next, I think it's 5, maybe 6 books I got from the library, and I need to stop picking up library books because I think I've currently got 11 out. There is a library haul and I'm hoping that goes up before this vlog, so you'll have got those, and then this is like the second part and I need to get through all of them. So without further ado, here is my somewhat ambitious library haul. So there is 6 books here. I'm going to go through the first 3 sort of together because they're all very similar. I picked up 3 poetry books, which I know, different. You don't really see much poetry on here, but it is 3 Maya Angelou anthologies. I really enjoy her poetry. I haven't read enough of it, and when I was in the library, I thought, I want to take out some poetry. I think because I've been formatting this poetry book, I'm kind of like in a poetry vibe, so I've got Mom and Me and Mom. I don't know what's in this one. Is this one more autobiographical? Ooh, so this one was in the poetry section, but I think it might actually be an autobiography. Oh, it might. Oh, I'm even more excited to read this because I love like autobiographical things like this as well. But I was definitely expecting more poetry. I've never read any of her autobiographies. I really want to read I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings, but I can never find it when I want to read it. So yeah, excited to read this one even more so now. If I find out the other 2 are also this, it's going to be, I'll be having serious words with my library because stop shelving things in the wrong place. The next thing is Just Give Me a Cool Drink of Water Before I Die. This one is about poems. This one is poems of love and regret. And yeah, maybe I'll do some poetry analysing. I've not actually had to analyse any poetry in far too long. And the last book that I got by Maya Angelou is Celebrations, Rituals of Peace and Prayer. I think this is another poetry book, but I'm not even going to say anymore. It looks like it is quite short. So again, no idea really what the poems are in it. I just really enjoy the poetry she does. We did And Still I Rise when I was in college. How long? 20 years ago? No, 18 years ago. Almost 20. And that was probably the last time I read anything by her. So it's nice to try and go back into that and read it again. The next 2 books are also by the same author. Again, books that I've wanted to read for a while. There are quite a lot more, but my library doesn't stock them, and I was getting a little bit stressed trying to find these 2 because the shelving system with the Dewey Decimal System was just, it didn't make any sense to me, and I was getting a little bit like, why does this not make sense? So the first one is Everyday Sexism by Laura Bates. Did this say it was a hardcover? This definitely said it was a hardcover version. That's definitely not a hardcover. So Laura Bates is a woman who like started like she didn't really start a thingy, but she was a journalist who dealt with lots of sexist comments, and she started documenting it, and she wrote this book, and then she's wrote quite a few other books. She's got a new one, I can't remember what it's called, that I really want to read, but I've never actually read this one, and I think this has been out since like, I want to say 2018, maybe earlier, 2014. Like I said, it's a really old book that I've just never got around to, and whilst I was looking at this poetry, I remembered that we went and did some of the poems for this anthology that I'm formatting on International Women's Day, and they'd got a copy of one of her books, and I thought, I really need to get around to it. So when I went in the library, I thought, I'm going to go and have a look, see what I can find. Again, I have no idea what is really in here. I just know that it's chronicles of like the sexism and the misogyny that she faced, and that's been like the key cornerstone of the writing that she's produced, which leads nicely onto the next book that I also got by her, which is The New Age of Sexism, How the AI Revolution is Reinventing Misogyny. So I'm really intrigued to see what this one is, and I think this is quite a recent one, just from the like title, 2025. So because of AI, like how AI is being used to carry forth the misogynistic point of views, I can see this being quite polemic and maybe a lot of people disagreeing with the topic in this book, but I think it's something that's really important, especially with some of the ways that AI has been used recently to further sort of like misogyny and like sexist behaviour and the way that women are denigrated through AI. So I'm intrigued to see how this carries on that sort of like theme of the everyday sexism, and maybe one day I'll get to the other books in between by this author, but I'm really excited. And finally, the last book I picked up is Bookkeeping for Small Businesses, Simple Steps to Becoming a Confident Bookkeeper. So no, I do not have a small business technically, but I am a self-employed author. I don't make a lot of money, but I would like to know how to do proper bookkeeping. I think I've read something similar before. I'm not sure if it is this one, or if it's a similar one, so I'm probably going to go back and try and get a couple more of these just to try and get my head in the right place, because I want to make sure that everything that I'm logging myself is done correctly and that I'm not missing anything that I need for my like end of year taxes, which is such like a boring adult topic, but it's something that I think is also really important because I don't want to accidentally not pay tax. So far I have made a loss every year with my author stuff because editing and covers are so much more expensive than anything that I've ever got back in. But again, I just want to make sure that for my own sort of knowledge, I'm in the right place and where I need to be with this. But it's a bit of a chunky one, so I'm hoping they make sense, because I don't know if it will. But we'll see. Maybe I'll do a review on this one. I'm hoping to talk about all these books on my channel at some point. I don't know if it was in this video or in a different video where I kind of mentioned that I didn't really know what I wanted to do with this channel anymore, because I've seen a lot of people saying that if you go from being a reader to a writer, you need to try and get out of reader spaces. You shouldn't be doing reviews because now you're like colleagues of the writers, and I kind of get that, and that made me question a lot of things. But then there's a couple of booktube channels that I follow where they have written books and they still do like big reviews for things. So I don't know, I feel like I'm in a very strange in between sort of vibe of what I want to do, and I think I'm going to continue doing what I'm doing because I've not really put a review up on my channel for years. And I don't know if I need to start doing that or not. I think I might try and like bring them back in a little bit of a different way. So maybe like analysing things from a different point of view. I don't know. Or like maybe be more like focused on the content, which I think I was anyway. I don't think I've ever actually like rated a book badly because of who the author is. So yeah, I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do with it, and I'm a little bit like all over of where this is going. But I might try and do a little bit more of an update and just some other little bits of B-roll through the rest of my day. But I think this is pretty much the day with me. I tried to do some things and I might try and do it again, but I don't get a lot of days to myself. So who knows? The next one you see might be my first ever event that I'm going to. I should be getting some bits for that. over this weekend. I kind of wish that I'd organised it better so stuff came today, but alas, unless I just add it in as like little snippets. I am hoping to get some stuff that I need for the event finalised. I've made a list of stuff. I'm getting closer to organising what I need, I think. I've sorted out my website. So yeah, I'm just excited for where everything's going and what we're going to be doing. It's like, who am I? I'm going to events and like, yeah, I've got no words. But I'm going to try and sort some stuff out before I have to go and pick the tiny one up from nursery. So yeah, I will maybe see you again at the end. It may be like this is a few days later, I've done an update to end the vlog, but we'll see how it goes. But until then, see you in a bit. I feel like this is a really terrible angle, but I never actually finished my follow me along, and I've edited the video, got to the end, and I'm like, I'll probably wind round this off later on, and I never did. So here is my outro, I suppose, for that video. If you liked the video, don't forget to give it a like, leave me a comment if you want to see more of my sort of like little daily vlogs or follow me around and doing things. Yeah, I've got new videos coming out. I'm really excited to see what I'm going to be putting on this channel and where we're going to be progressing to. So if you are interested in that, don't forget to hit subscribe. And as always, I hope you're all well and you all stay safe, and until next time, bye!